Okay, this thing is very simple. Now, how do you use residential? Residential proxy is the strongest proxy, or one of the, after mobile proxy, the strongest proxy is residential proxy. That's why it's always very expensive. The reason why it's expensive is because it is in gig. Now, gig they buy, like say they buy data, 2 gig, 3 gig, so it's expensive. So if you check Jonis, 1 gig is $3. So now, how do you use residential proxy on PI, which is a bit cheaper, which is like $2, be $1.98. That's $2, right? So all you need to do is to make sure you create a PI account. Once you go to pi.com, you register your account. After registering your account, you go to the main menu, which is here. Now, when you click on the main menu, all you need to do on the main menu is to click on residential proxy. Once you click residential proxy, instead of SOX 5 proxy that you used to click before, click on residential proxy. Once you click on residential proxy, to bring you here, right, where they will say you have 0 gig, you don't have any gig at all. Now you have where you redeem the key. These are the key you are going to buy from me. So assuming I've sent you a key, all you need to do now, once you log in your PI proxy account and you click on residential proxy, make sure you select residential proxy. Is just to copy that key that I've given to you, which is like this. Copy that key and paste it here. Once you paste it here and click confirm, that's it. Successful. 1 gig has been transferred to you because you paid me for 1 gig, assumably, right? Let's say you are buying proxy from me. So now you pay me for 1 gig. Now you have 1 gig. Once you have your 1 gig, if you need 10 gig, you can buy 10 gig. Now you want to make sure you manage that 1 gig, because if you are using it to browse anyhow, they're going to finish you. But let's focus on how to make use of this before we talk about how to manage it. Now, once you have your 1 gig, you click on endpoint generator. This is where you now generate any IP in this world that you want. Now, what do you do here? You come and select your region, right? Select region. If you want to do Australia survey, Australia, you search for Australia, you choose confirm. Then you want to select what's that? Hold on, I want to know what this is, guys. Okay, just leave the proxy address the way it is. Don't touch that. Now for this, just select the states you want. So in Australia, I'm looking for Western Australia, and I'm looking for pets. So you select this, and if you already have a profile account, you select the state that tallies with your own. It doesn't mean you come and select Western. My own Australia. Now, right? So this IP should be fixed for 90 minutes, right? 90 minutes, right? So you choose 60, and then once you choose 60, that is all. Remember, select Australia, select the state, select the city, then choose 60, and then you come down here, change it to 10 to 1. Sorry. Then this place, this format, select host name, port, username, and password. That's the format you want. Then once you have this, you copy it out. Go and paste it in maybe one of your WhatsApp. Just paste it in WhatsApp like this, right? So now, do you know that as soon as you send this to somebody, you have already given the person an IP to use? So now, how do you make use of this IP? If you check between the IP, you see semicolon. You see that after that 5,000, piproxy.com semicolon, you see 5,000. So that means from the first number here, from the first letter here, na.proxy. That place semicolon is, that's the break of this IP. So we want to break it now. So here, this semicolon, so you break it, you delete this semicolon, you break here too. That means that's the port of the IP. You break it, you go down again, another semicolon is here, you break it. Ouch, I just made a terrible mistake, guys. I'm coming. So this is the username and the port. This is the server and the port. Let's take it out and go and copy the username and password. So remember, this is server and port. So let's remove server and port that we have already copied out. Let's delete it out. Now, if you see this semicolon, now that's where it breaks from. Semicolon, you remove the semicolon. So that means this one is username, this long link is username, this one is password. The semicolon is what separates them, right? So now, I can now go to my super proxy and use this IP there now. So go to your super proxy, say PI residential proxy, you name it. PI residential proxy, PI residential. Then you paste it here. Now the 5,000 is the port, so 5,000. You remove the port from here. So that means you have the username and the port, sorry, the server and the port all checked. Now you come here, authentication, you select username and password. So you select and put this username and password there, sorry. So we want to make sure we copy out the username. The username is this long link. Paste it here. Then the password is this one. Right? So in that case, this is my IP. I click on save. Once you click on save, you have your IP running now. Can click on it.
Turning an ordinary photo into a fun and detailed 3D figure is easier than you think. Curious how it's done?
Excellent.
Okay, so now the proxy is up and running. So now let's go and do our IP analysis. Since we're using Edge browser, open your Edge. What's this? Now let's check our IP analysis. This one no get all those issue of say it's not browsing, my network automatically stop, blah 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 blah. No, not. That's why it's expensive. It's the best proxy actually. It's expensive, the gig. So, but what I've done now, I've looked for a source where I can get the gig cheaper, right? Where I can get it cheaper. Where I can get it absolutely cheaper for $2. Because Joni sell it for $1 and $3 for 1 gig, right? So now this is basically it. Australia pet and all of that. If you copy it now, you go and check the Scamalytic fraud score. Of course, it will be low. I'm very sure it will be low because residential proxy is not a joke, so they won't give you stupid IP. Every IP they give to you is alele. Now let's watch. Let's check this Scamalytic fraud score. I'm actually in an E3, so there's no good network here, apparently. But it's still fast at the end of the day. Now let's check the fraud score. Can you see that? The fraud score will always be low, right? So now with this, you can create your Ipsos account, you can create your Pure Profile account, you can create your YouGov account, because these are the 3 sites I want us to focus on now: YouGov, Pure Profile, and Ipsos. So now the problem now is that when you are using this proxy, it will be counting in gig. Now let's go and check our 1 gig. You see, say the 1 gig already they drop. Let's go and check now. How many gig is remaining now? From your 1 gig, let's see what's left. It counts very fast. So what you need to do to make this proxy not to eat too much, there are 2 options or 3 options that you can do. You see, like 10 this thing don't come on, 10 megabytes don't go now. 10 MB is gone. As simple as that is. Now if I go open my WhatsApp, open Telegram now, war don't start. So one thing you first of all want to do is go and on your data saver. I don't know if it's on my this phone. Let's look for data saver. Go to your settings. No, this is battery saver. So let's go to settings and look for data saver. This is my itel. Let's look for data saver. So the first thing you can do is to on your data saver. I don't even know where they used to on data saver on itel. No results. So let's just navigate around. Now, look at it here, data saver. So everybody get you use data saver, unrestricted data. 2 apps allowed to use unrestricted data. What are the 2 apps? Okay, I think that's a default based on what the app does for this phone. So okay, unrestricted data. Okay, good. So phone get a lot of settings. So let's on the data saver, right? So which simply means that data saver will make your phone to not run in the background. So all your background, to help reduce data usage, data saver prevents some apps from sending or receiving data in the background. An app you are currently using can access data but may do so less frequently. This may mean, for example, that images don't display until you tap them, right? So you on your data saver. That's the first step to saving your data. Number 1. Number 2 is that once you start doing survey, make sure everything else you cut them like this. Everything else. Let me remove every other thing from my phone. Now everything else is removed apart from my Edge browser that I want to use and work. Everything else is removed, right? So nothing is minimized. No, you no open your WhatsApp until you finish your survey. No open your WhatsApp, right? So now I will just make sure I'm working with this browser going forward. And you see these tabs were open for back now, make them no day. So if you don't check your scamalytic, you just check your WOA, cut them, comot. No open tabs for grand. Don't have 2 tabs open. Except maybe you are doing survey from one tab and then they redirect you to another tab where you are doing survey. If you are even done, go and cut that tab and remove it. Right? Also, we can also check in our browser settings if there is anywhere to save data. Come here, I'll still do more research on how we can also save data more and more, and then I'll update you guys. Anything to help you save your data so that you don't consume too much. Because I read from ChatGPT that there is an extension you can download. There's an extension you can download that will help you save data. So there's an extension you can download on your Edge browser, any of your browser, you can download an extension to save data. So the extension prevents video downloads and all of that, right? Now that is about that for you to manage your data if you are using a browser. Now another option that you can use to save data is if you are using super proxy. If you are using if you are using go login, now this is how go login works. First, you don't need super proxy to use go login, right? Now to use go login, that same proxy details is what you just download go login app. Now the way go login works is that it now helps you have, let me just show you. I think demonstration is the best. Let's leave the update for now. Now let's use go login. Now you create a profile, say PI residential